Alabama rolls the dice, is fully embracing using the AIM, using the portal to upgrade its roster with proven productive players. But this is not two men enter, one man leave. Right now, it's at least 19 Alabama players are in the portal. So far, they've landed five. And there may be more Alabama players yet to go in the portal. So, Alabama, this is a rebuild. This is a retool. Offensive line, defensive line, linebackers. They did add a great running back. There's a lot going on in the portal. So that's where we are. We're going to talk about it. I've got Will K joining me. Welcome to another episode of the Bamateur Hour. I am Bama John. Today is Thursday, January 8th. 2026 in the year of our Lord. Thank you for tuning in. We now have over 8,900 subscribers to the YouTube channel and growing. We're headed to 10,000 and beyond. It's crazy, Will. It is crazy. Lots of players exiting. I don't think too many of them on the transfer list are coming back. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, kind of expected. Maybe some of the players aren't expected, but a lot of, role player guys. Um, but it seems worse right now than it will be. We have, we'll get more guys in the portal. It's just everybody's declaring right now to leave, and that's all you see. You only see the exodus of people. You don't see the incoming yet. So it'll all work out, but that's the state of college football that we're in right now. You could be at a top program, you could be a starter there, but and you can leave for money, and that's what we're seeing.
So, in previous years, Alabama has not had this kind of mass exodus and gone so portal heavy on knowing that they have to go in there and they have to add players. They got to add proven, productive players. Clinton Dix said it. Tape don't lie. We're not paying for potential. We're not paying for talent. We're paying for productivity. And Alabama seems to be embracing it this year. You look at the four teams left in the playoffs, and they've all gone portal heavy the last couple of years, and they're still standing. We did not do that. And we're out. We couldn't compete with these portal teams. We're sitting at home while you got one semifinal tonight, semifinal tomorrow. It may backfire on DeBoer if he's not able to add players because you got to upgrade. I mean, that's the key. If you're going to let these guys walk, you got to upgrade. Some of the players, no big deal. They haven't been productive. They haven't panned out. But there's some good players on our team in the portal. Latest one to jump in the portal, Isaiah Horton's in the portal. He was a productive receiver this year. He wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver. He didn't have 15 touchdowns, but he was a productive player, and he's in the portal. I'm hoping that means that we're going to spend money on Cam Coleman. And I'll take the upgrade. If we can get Cam Coleman and let Zay Horton walk, I would love that. But that's the gamble. There's no guarantee that we're going to add a wide receiver as good as Zay Horton. And he was a proven player. All right. You want to talk about the incoming players first? Let's talk about them
All
and
right.
give me your thoughts. So we'll start with the guy that I consider the biggest ad, the most proven player, Hollywood Smothers, coming in the door. All right,
Needed him.
talk about Hollywood. Give me your thoughts.
Yep, nearly a 1,000-yard rusher in the ACC. Needed him. Our run game was just absolutely just atrocious this year. I mean, it was just did I mean it was just so bad, and we need some more help on the line. That's part of the reason too. But some of those guys left on the line. And we'll get some more guys, but he's a person that can take a 50-yard run to the house. We didn't have anybody that could do that this
No,
year.
we had one guy that could do it, but the problem was he couldn't break tackles to get to the second level. AK Deer was not seasoned enough and good enough, but if AK Deer could get to the second level, but he didn't see playing time. So the guys that got playing time, you're right. Daniel Hill could get 5 yards.
Well, I
He
mean,
could,
that's what I meant, people on the
yeah.
field.
Jam Miller certainly didn't have that explosive speed. Any of the running backs that got significant playing time could not get to the second level and then explode to
Daniel
the
Hill
house.
is like just kind of slow, and he's just,
He's
got this
powerful.
ball.
He's a
He
powerful
just
runner, but right, he
he's
doesn't run away from the secondary.
yeah, I mean, and Kevin Riley was hurt a lot. The first, I mean, I don't know if people remember the first drive that we had of the year. Just ran it down their throat. I was like, we got a run game this year. Nope.
Well, in that
Didn't
game,
come
we
out.
actually abandoned the run game. They scored, then they got up on us again, and then we abandoned the run game. That game, I think we were 70% passes and 30% runs, and it wasn't because the alignments didn't allow us. Ryan Grubb, that was a terribly coached game, in my opinion, all the way around, but we abandoned the run game. In a lot of the wins, even though we weren't putting up 100, 150 yards of rushing, we didn't abandon the run game. Now in Indiana, we were 70% pass, 30% run. How much of it was just Indiana just stuffed us every which way and all we could do was pass the ball? How much of it was their line was whipping our line? And how much of it was we needed to try to run the ball more? But, as we got into a bigger and bigger hole, that game was over. But no, we didn't have a running back like Hollywood Smothers. To me, he's a day one starter. What are your thoughts?
He's a Jameer Gibbs type.
Day one
Um,
starter. He will
yep.
be RB1 in the. So we've added a starter, and then you combine him with Daniel Hill coming back to give some reps. You got AK Deer that may be more impactful, and then you got Crowell coming in, and it's going to be a good running back room. So all right,
You'd
to
think.
me, we addressed the running back room. I think we're in good shape on running backs. That's good. So
Yep.
we picked up something. All right, let's go to the next player that I think is the next biggest sign, and that's Devan Tompkins from USC, edge rusher, 6'5", 290. I think he's a day one starter. Your thoughts on him?
Yeah, yeah. He's I think he was like top three D lineman in the portal. Um, and with all the guys we have leaving, we needed him too. Um, so I mean, I haven't watched a lot of USC football to be honest, or him, but from what I've heard, he's pretty good. So I'll have to go watch him a little bit. But so
I think
good addition.
he's a day one starter. He's productive, and I will take him. But I hate losing James Smith, Quay Russaw, Keelan Keeley, Kelby Collins. Essentially, all four of those guys walked out the door. So there goes our depth. I think Tompkins will start, but clearly we're going to have to add some more guys on the D line and in the linebacking core because of all that attrition that's happening. But I'm glad we're not overpaying for potential. We're not overpaying for talent. The people we're keeping, we're paying for production. That's my thought on Tompkins. I think we added another day one starter.
Yep.
Next guy is Caleb Woodson, linebacker from Virginia Tech, experienced linebacker. Again, I think he's going to be a day one starter. I think we've added 3 day one starters that are going to pan out, that have proven productive. Happy to have him coming on board. Thoughts on Woodson coming in?
Yeah, when I first saw him, he looked, I mean, what do I know? He looked like a little small. I thought he was like a DB or something, but I guess he's a good linebacker.
He's 6'3", 230.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
maybe just looked a little slimmer than what I thought a linebacker would look like. But
6'3",
yeah,
230.
okay, yeah, well, it's about linebacker size.
On
So
a bad team, he was very productive on a bad team, and I think he wanted to upgrade, and the price was right, and the fit was right, and we added him. So I'm excited about that. All right, the next guy that we added, Caden Strayhorn, 6'2", 308, inside linebacker, can play center guard. Coming, he's coming from Michigan, and I think he's also a day one starter at guard or center. I think he'll compete for the center spot, guard spot, but I also think he's a day one starter. Any thoughts on him?
yeah, I don't know much about him. He did go to IMG Academy, so that means something, I guess.
And he's buds with Michael Carroll, so that helped.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So they're buds.
Let's see.
So added him. Josh Ford, tight end from Oklahoma State. We added him. Big 6'6", 265-pound tight end. Didn't have big stats last year, but I certainly think as a blocking tight end, he'll get a lot of playing time there. I'm not sure he'll be a day one starter. I think it depends on how good he is at route running and catching and just being an all-round tight end versus just being a pass blocking and run blocking tight end. I think he's a good addition, but I don't know that he'll be a day one starter. Not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, we're kind of have a lot of tight ends. I don't think we have one tight end who's going to be like Cuevas, but we still have like a lot of depth there. Um, you know,
Yeah,
Pritchett,
we got my cousin Caleb Edwards is still there, so we
Caleb
need
Edwards.
cousin
I mean,
Caleb.
I don't know who's going to start there. He might show out and play. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we've got some tight ends. I didn't view it as a position of need, but I think they wanted a big blocking tight end. So happy to have him. Um, so all right, why do guys leave in the portal? Let's think about this. Guys are leaving in the portal because they want more money, they want more playing time, they want to be guaranteed starters, or we're telling them to leave. Hey, you're not going to get much playing time here. You're just a practice player. You're a backup. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why guys are leaving. Some of it's they think they're worth $1 million a year, and we think they're worth $500,000 a year. We don't know all that's going on, but let's talk about the big names that are in the portal. Number one on the offensive lines, Wilkin Formby. Uh, and my understanding is Wilkin wanted to play tackle. He was told that he would play guard at Alabama and he was not going to play tackle. And he wanted to play tackle, so he left. And lo and behold, he's at Texas A&M. They must have sold him that they were going to play him at tackle. We'll see after spring practice. We'll see what position he plays when it comes to start the season. But they're willing to pay him and take him. And all right, Wilkin, we wish you the best at Texas A&M, except when you play Alabama.
Yep.
But I'm skeptical that he'll be a starting tackle at Texas A&M. I think he may find out he got more money, but he's still going to end up playing guard, or he's going to be the second string tackle. He could prove me wrong, but that's my assessment. And I think we were right to tell him stay and play guard or leave, and he left.
Yep. When he transferred, they showed his stats. He only gave up 3 sacks on the year. That doesn't, I mean, I guess it's right, but that just doesn't sound right. Um,
Well,
he
just because
had
he didn't
20
give up a
carries.
sack didn't mean he didn't give up pressure. Where
Yeah.
where Ty was pressured, had to throw the ball away, where Ty had to scramble out of the pocket and run. Ty was pretty good back there. And Ty, we wish you all the best in the NFL. We're excited for you, and we're also excited to see who the quarterback is, and we'll talk about that later. But so I mean, we clearly all saw the film where Wilkin was either having to hold the guy or guys were blitzing around him.
Yeah,
Wilkin
that's
just,
something they didn't put up there. They didn't put up how many penalties he got.
right. How many holding calls did he get? But he was very productive at tackle. I mean, at guard. But at
Yeah.
tackle, he couldn't hold up. And there's a reason why Michael Carroll replaced him. And his agility and his quickness for his size, it's not elite. So I'm skeptical that he can play tackle in the NFL. I'm skeptical that he can play tackle at Texas A&M and be what they expect him to be. It might be bait and switch. He gets there, he shows up, and boom, guard, or you're not starting. So I will be interested to see how it happens. But again, I hope he can do it. I hope he's able to do what he wants to do. I don't wish him any ill will. Happy for him, happy for his family that he's going to Texas A&M and getting the chance to do what he wants to do. But it just wasn't working here.
Nope.
All
It's
right,
not.
let's talk about Zay Horton, the latest entry into the portal.
I don't know what that's about. I mean, thought he'd still be a starter, so it must be something we don't know. Does that mean that Cam Coleman has silently
Cheddar.
committed
How
here?
about Cheddar? How about we weren't willing to pay him? Maybe we told him to take a pay cut. Maybe we told him, we're not going to give you a raise. I got to believe he's seeking more money and a better team. I mean, he left Miami. He could be on Miami right now playing for a national championship. Think about that.
Well, we'll see if they get there tonight.
Yeah, but they're in the semis. We're out. He could have stayed at Miami and and
Yeah, but
and
like a
had
couple
a
of weeks,
better
I know, but
playoff.
like a
Let's say
couple
a
of
better
weeks ago,
playoff experience.
but like a couple of weeks ago, they weren't even going to get in.
Yeah, but they did.
I
And
did,
they've
and
made the most of it. We got run out of the playoffs and dismissed. Um, you know, got kicked out and got steamrolled, and they're in it. But it'll be interesting to see where he goes. But I think he's seeking more money. But I also think he's seeking a team where he thinks they're better than Alabama with maybe a more proven quarterback. I'll be interested to see where he goes. Um, I'm fine with him leaving. He was good, not great. If we can get a Cam Coleman, if we can get an upgrade, can we get an upgrade? We've got good wide receivers in the room. We've got Sindarian Morgan coming in. We still got Ryan Williams. We got Lots Brooks. I was counting on Zay Horton. He's gone. We got Rico Scott. Hey, and that makes Rico Scott staying a good decision because that opens up playing time for him. But I want us to get Cam Coleman, or we need to get a wide receiver who's better than Zay Horton. And it's going to be pricey, but hey, take all of the money you were going to pay Zay and then double it or more and go get Cam. That's what I say. Thoughts?
Yep. Cam Coleman, he is the answer. I'm not sure we'll get him. I mean, I think he's either going to go to a Texas school or here. We do have Auburn's wide receiver coach, which is a good thing. So maybe he'll come here.
Well, I never discount LSU, so I still think there's a possibility that Cam could talk to LSU. I don't count them out till he signs wherever he does, because the Portal King is now down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And again, the whole fact that every one of these teams left in the playoffs, Indiana built their whole roster on portal studs. You look across on both sides of the line. They brought half of their starters last year were from JMU. They brought in a bunch of players, and then they upgraded at positions and brought in a bunch of more great players this year. And they brought in, and hats off to Kurt Cignetti. That guy is a talent evaluator, and he knows how to put together a roster. And, hats off to them. Not LSU, Ole Miss built through the portal, not through recruiting, built through the portal. Miami went heavy portal this year. It's paying off. And Oregon, all four starting quarterbacks are portal transfer guys. So we got to hit it. I mean, we got to get another 5 to 8 starters out of the portal, and we got to get depth out of the portal. We can't have 19 guys leave and only sign 6 or 7 guys. We're going to have to sign double-digit guys and get a bunch more starters. So let's look at who else is leaving. We hurt a little bit on who's leaving on the defensive side. You're losing Kelby Collins, Keon Keeley, James Smith, Quay Rusall, all contributors on the defense this year. Smith was a regular starter. Quay was hurt a lot. Keon Keeley was coming on in the second half of the year. Kelby Collins. All 4 of those guys are depth guys, and they got a lot of PT. We're going to have to get some more defensive linemen because you can't count on these freshmen and some of these other guys that weren't playing to take big leaps and bounds. We got to get some proven productivity there. Thought about any or all those guys? Which one, if we could keep one of them, who would you want to keep?
Probably Quay Rusall.
Okay.
Or Keon Keeley.
Yeah, I would say Keon Keeley's the one I'd want to keep. I'm fine with the other 3 leaving, but we got to replace them. So any other thoughts about those guys walking out the door?
Yeah, the whole defense, I mean, except for the DBs, I think we'll be fine there. All of our linebackers, not going to the portal, they're just going to the NFL. We're going to have to get some linebackers too.
Yeah.
Not just the D line.
Yep.
But
they think they've got some guys who are ready to step up that can play more. You got. Let's hope Jan St. Pierre doesn't leave. We need to keep him. Jeremiah Beeman's going to be healthy this coming year. He was out all season. That's a big, put a big dude in the middle that can really help clog up things. We got players. We still have players on the defensive side, but we need to add more on the line, and we probably need to add 1 or 2 more linebackers. So, but I think you're right. In the defensive backfield, we got dudes. As long as we don't get a surprise and Dijon Lee jumps in the portal, or Keon Sabb or somebody doesn't jump in the portal, I think we're okay.
Yeah. Xavier Brown.
Yep, Xavier Brown. We got to keep him. Maybe Mbakwe comes back. No, I guess he's already signed. Never mind. He's going elsewhere. But like Xavier Brown. I mean, not Xavier Brown. Mbakwe. He was
Yeah.
not going to be a receiver, but he could have been a starting cornerback for us or a safety. He could have played in the defensive backfield, but he didn't want to do it. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Is he going to get reps and be a starting wide receiver, or is he going to be sitting it out and or forced to move to the defensive side of the ball? I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other the
He was
other
he
guy
was
that
just on the he was just I mean, there were just so many five-star DBs and wide receivers. He was just so far on the depth chart. He just couldn't see any playing time. He saw more playing time the year before this one than he did this year.
yeah, no doubt. The only other two guys I'm going to mention are Cole Adams leaving. Good possession receiver, but we're so deep in the wide receiver room with Sendarian Morgan coming in as well.
Fair catch demon.
I mean, really, you can get someone who can fair catch punts. Somebody on that team is going to have good hands. You can get somebody to do it. Maybe we can get a more dangerous returner coming in. Who knows? But
Yeah.
we're fine without Cole. Noah Carter leaving, highly touted. Again, didn't prove anything on the field. He's out the door. I would have been interested in him staying, but I think we can. I don't think we're going to miss him. I may regret those words. He may go out and be all conference or all American somewhere else, but I think we're okay with him walking out the door. And then when I look at the list of any of the rest of the guys on here, it's like, but we got to go get more dudes.
Yep, for sure we do.
So
Cameron
probably
Coleman.
need at least two more offensive linemen from the portal, if not three. Probably need 1 to 2 defensive linemen, 1 to 2 linebackers, and we need Cam Coleman.
Yes, Cam Coleman that'd be really good.
And maybe we got a
So
lot
he's
of
he's
extra.
not the number one player in the portal.
No, he's not.
Who is? Do you know?
Yes, I do.
Who is it?
Funny that you would ask that. Drum roll, please. The number one player in the portal is Sam Levitt. Cam Coleman's number 4 in the portal. Brendan Sorsby is number 2. Drew Mestamaker is number 3. Number 5 is Chaz Coleman, who's an edge player from Penn State. Then you got another quarterback, Damon Williams. That's a whole train wreck right there as to what's going on there. Believe it or not, James Smith is the number 8 guy in the portal. I find that amazing.
He's not. He's
Yeah, given his productivity, I'm shocked that that's how he's rated, but okay, we'll let him have it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to add more dudes. We're not done, but we got to add more. Again, we have to add better players and upgrade at these positions where dudes are walking out the door, and also at positions where guys are going to the NFL. So, any further thoughts on portal, the transfer game, the mania that we have going on right now? It's wild. I've heard like a third of the players
we'll
in
know
college
everything.
football.
We'll know everything by the 16th. Is that when it closes?
No, it's not. Here, let me explain to you what happens.
I don't know the rules. I mean,
no. The transfer portal closes on the 16th, meaning you cannot go in the portal. But if you're in the portal and haven't signed anywhere, you can stay in the portal. So let me throw this to you. Let's say Austin Mack goes in the portal, and then he says, "I'm not going to transfer till after spring practice." So he's in the portal. He's there to get nabbed. But then he says, "I'll either remove myself from the portal after spring practice if I'm number 1, but if I'm not the starter, I'm going elsewhere." If I was Austin Mack, if you're planning on staying at Alabama, I would do that. Because Austin Mack's only got 2 years eligibility left. He wants to play in the pros. He's got to start somewhere in the fall. If I'm Austin Mack, I do that. And if they tell me, if you go in the portal, you're off this roster, then I'd say, fine, I'm off the roster. I'll go find somewhere else to play. Let Keelan start. I'm going to go find a place where I can start because he doesn't have time to sit. Keelan has 4 years to sit. So he could afford to sit a year behind Austin Mack. So when the portal closes, you can't enter in the portal anymore. But if you're in the portal, you can wait 2-3 months. Now, the problem is money may be gone. You may not get all the kind of the rev share money that you want. NIL deals may be harder to get, but if you're a great player and they don't have rev share money, but they want you to come, they'll go to the boosters and say, we need a lot of NIL money to get Austin Mack here because we can only pay him $200,000. So somebody needs to step up and come up with $2 million in NIL money so he'll come here. And but that's how it works. Is yes, a lot of this transfer stuff is going to happen between now and the 16th. But there will be guys in the portal who will not remove themselves from the portal, but may sit where they are trying to figure out, are they going to get the playing time? Are they going to get the money they want? Or do they need to go find another team?
So
So
there's going to be some people in the portal for a while.
could be. That's what I'm fascinated about. Because remember last year there was a spring portal too. There was a winter portal, and then you knew you had a spring portal so that after the spring practice was over with, you go back in the portal if you weren't happy with your position coming out of spring camp. That's gone. So it's going to be crazy.
I'm trying to think. Who did we lose anybody big to the portal last year?
No, we didn't lose anybody that killed us. I mean, the player we lost was Caleb Downs 2 years ago. That
And
was the
Julian Sand.
well, but I mean, is Julian Sand better than Ty Simpson? If you put Ty Simpson on Ohio State and Julian Sand on here, would Julian Sand have done any better with this offensive line and these receivers than Ty Simpson did? And could Ty Simpson have thrown the deep ball and scrambled more at Ohio State than Julian Sand? I'm not going to say which was an upgrade. So again, Sand is not tall. He's not a dual threat quarterback. He's a great pocket passer. He's very accurate, but a lot of people call him check down Charlie. So that's what's fascinating. Yeah, we lost him, but we have quarterbacks. We have Keelan Russell. We had Ty. I mean, Ty Wilson Ty Simpson.
Yeah, but we had safeties too. Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb were good.
They're not Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is special.
Bray Hubbard actually had better stats than Caleb Downs did.
That's because no one threw at Caleb Downs, and Caleb Downs blew up play after
well, then
play
how
on
can
that
you know
Ohio
if he's
State
good or
defense.
not?
What do you mean, how can you know he's good? Because he's going to be the number 5 pick in the draft. No one is projecting. No one's project. I mean, he started as a freshman, and they loved him in Ohio State. And remember, he blew up that semifinal game against Texas on that sweep play. He's the one that blew that up, and then the next play they got that pick on. Jack Sawyer gets the pick, and Ohio State beats Texas, dismisses them. I'm telling you, everybody loves Caleb Downs. He's the real deal. I would love to keep him. But the price was too much. And also, we're playing the portal game differently. Alabama's having to evolve to keep up with these teams that are beating us at the portal game. That's what you're seeing this year. And we'll find out how well they play it. But, those are my thoughts. All right, let's talk about what else on the portal before we talk about quarterback.
I don't have much else in the portal until somebody else comes in or goes out.
Okay. All right, let's talk about quarterback. What's going to happen? Who you're projecting? Who do you think is going to start?
Keelan Russell. It has to be Keelan Russell.
It does?
Yes.
Okay. See, I can't get a read on DeBoer whether he's going to give Austin Mack all sorts of rope to hang himself or to prove himself, because Austin Mack was at Washington with him. Then he transfers here with him. Then he sits 2 years, 1 year behind, what's his name? Previous quarterback, Milroe. And then he sits behind Simpson. Is he going to basically, unless it's just obvious that Keelan's world, if they're close, is he going to give Austin Mack his chance?
Well, Austin Mack was the 2 on the depth chart.
I know.
After Ty Simpson, but you want to talk about having somebody leave? Keelan Russell, if he leaves, that's going to be the same caliber as Caleb Downs leaving, probably.
I know, I agree with you, but what I'm telling you is I can't.
Well, it'll probably.
I don't know how Kalen DeBoer is going to handle
it. It's going to be a quarterback battle, is what it's going to be.
And whoever wins it,
and it might actually be like the closest quarterback battle you can think. I mean, sometimes there's quarterback battles, but you kind of know who's going to be the starter. Like this past year, Ty Simpson. This year, it's kind of 50-50, and it's only 2, not 3.
Right. Right.
Um, back in 2016, it was like Blake Barnett, and then, some other quarterback.
Jake
Yeah,
Coker takes over, takes us
yeah,
to a natty.
yeah. So I mean, I really don't know, but I would like to see Keelan.
I'm with you. I want it to be Keelan and just let Austin Mack transfer. But I mean, we got another week. It'll be fascinating if either or both of those guys puts their names in the portal, and it'll tell you something. And if they don't, is Keelan willing to sit a year and burn another year and not get to play?
Exactly.
Yeah. So fascinated.
But you also want to put the best quarterback out there, not just because he's a 5-star. You've seen a lot of 5-stars come and go and not play at all because they can't play. So, but I don't think Keelan Russell's that way.
Yep. All right. Um, Here are some rumored guys that are interested in Alabama. Cam Coleman. I think people still think Texas or Texas A&M or Texas Tech's more likely to get him, but Cam Coleman be a great acquisition. I hope we get him. Brock Riker, Texas State. Everybody wants him. I think he's a highly rated offensive lineman. I think can play center or guard. We need to get that. There's a guy named Jimothy Lewis out of Mississippi State. Again, another O lineman. Um, Rumor has it he's likely to come to Alabama. We'll see. He would provide depth. I don't know that he would be a day one starter, but he'd provide depth. And then this
Mhm.
is the guy I really want to get is Jacarius Peak from North Carolina State. 3-year starter. He's an expensive hire. A lot of people want him. It's going to be a lot of bidding for him. But if he came in, he would be right tackle or left tackle, be an instant plug and play starter ready to go. We need to get him.
He's had chemistry with Smothers too, so they know each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe Smothers is sitting there recruiting him. So I'd love to get
Mhm.
him. On the defensive side, you've got Malik Brockton at Auburn. You got Jordan Rice from Tennessee, who's an edge rusher. You've got Cody Sigler from Arkansas State. Those are all potential line acquisitions. And then there's a punter at North Alabama, Adam Watford, that they're talking about adding. And then I saw something today about a long snapper we might add as well because that Bird guy is gone. So those are just, rumored guys that have a possibility of ending up at Alabama that could help things. And that's really all I got.
Yeah, there'll be more people as time goes on, and we'll know more in the coming months. But get a few offensive linemen, need some linebackers and Cam Coleman, and then I'm pretty happy. But we definitely need to get some people.
We need O line, D line. And then let me ask you this. I don't think there's going to be any coaching changes till after the portal closes. But I think once the portal closes, is our O line guy going to get fired? Are we going to have a new offensive line coach? I would like to see that. I
Yeah,
think part
maybe.
of our problem was coaching. I don't think it was all lack of talent and that we didn't have good players. Some of it might have been that our offensive line wouldn't, was Vandermark, Dewberry, Jaden Roberts. Were they good enough? Wilkin at guard was better than he was at tackle, but he couldn't hold up at tackle. Michael Carroll was young, but I don't think they were well coached. I don't know how you can explain how bad our line was. And I don't think
With
they
a
were well
pretty good
coached.
amount of talent too. I mean,
They
Caden
were
Proctor.
rated well, right? They were rated well, but on the high Clinton
Sometimes you
Dix
just look at
scale,
things on paper and then, oh, this team looks pretty good on paper. But then, when you play a game, the paper doesn't really matter. You have to actually do stuff. So,
you know,
I mean,
you know who Zach Thomas is? Played for the Miami
linebacker for
Dolphins.
the Dolphins. Yeah.
Correct. All pro linebacker for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
If you looked at his measurables, he did not fit that bill of being an all pro linebacker in the NFL. But as Jimmy Johnson said, I want productivity. Show me what they do on the film. I want football players, not, Adonises who just are workout warriors. I need guys that can deliver on the field. And that's what Zach Thomas was. And, I bring that up because we got to have guys that are productive and can do it on the field. And, guys that are, I mean, how many guys are there that are fast in the NFL and can't catch a pass and drop passes and get
I mean,
drafted based on speed and agility, but then they can't catch it. I mean, look at Ryan Williams this year. He had the dropsies. What the heck? Got to do better, Ryan. You had a sophomore slump. We need you to be better next year.
I think he'll bounce back next year.
We need him to. We need him to because I think we're paying him a lot of money. And right now, based on the production scale, if you told me to pick Cam or Ryan, I'm picking Cam. I'm taking
Well, it
Cam
looks like we might
Coleman
get
over
both
Ryan.
of them.
I hope we get both of them, but I mean, if I had to make that choice, if it was Sophie's choice, I'm taking Cam. I'm telling Ryan bye. But I want to keep them both, and I want Ryan to show out next year. But I mean, Lottie Brooks to me was a lot better than Ryan Williams was this year. More effective. He could take hits. He'd go over the middle. Just incredible. Love that guy. Love that guy.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be a good piece to have back.
All right, it's way too early to know kind of how this roster is going to shake out. But I mean, if you had to make a pick today, are we going to be 10-2 or better next year? Are we more likely to go 9-3, 8-4, or are we going to be Florida State and go portal heavy? It's a failure, and we're 6-6 or 7-5. What's your way too early thought about how we're going to do next year?
I feel like we might be a team that scores 40 every game but gives up 30 for right now. Because I think we have a lot of, still good offensive players, but the defense is it's a little thin right now.
Our line's thin too. We can't block anybody. There are not going to be any holes to be run through unless we add some dudes.
Yeah, so I mean, I really don't know. Maybe like 9-3 as of right now, but we get a few more guys. We get Cam Coleman, might be national championship contenders.
Well, we got to get more than Cam Coleman, but he would be a key cornerstone to that team. But we got to get linemen on both sides of the ball. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm thinking we're in that 9-3 range right now. I might change my mind in a week or two after we see who else we add. I might be more optimistic, but I think 9-3 is about what we can expect at this point. But maybe
We still
we'll ramp
got,
it up.
got Georgia again. We got A&M on the schedule this year. We haven't played them in a couple of years. At LSU against Lane Kiffin, you never know.
Yeah.
Um, no Oklahoma, no boogeyman this year though. So no, there's not going to be a definite loss on the schedule yet. Got Auburn at home. That's always good to have at the end of the year. Don't have to go to Jordan Hare. But Tennessee on the road. There's a few games we could lose for sure.
Yeah. All right. That's all I've got. You got any parting shots?
I don't think so.
All right. My parting shot is we're going portal heavy this year. We are not reliant on the guys we've recruited to step up, and one guy leaves to the NFL and his backup steps up. We're looking to add quality proven players. I'm betting we'll have between 5 and 10 new starters, maybe even more, that come out of the portal. I think we've got 4 guys out of the portal right now. They're going to start. I think they'll add 4 to 8 more that are going to be portal starters. And that when we have our first game in the fall, it's going to be half of our starters, or 40% of our starters are going to be portal additions. And they got to show out. They got to play out. We got to be able to add the right guys. We got to coach them up. We got to integrate them. It's a challenge, but I think Alabama's finally embraced the fact that you just can't recruit and just think you're going to recruit and keep all your guys and maintain them, and that's going to build national championships. Those days are over. That is my parting shot.
I mean, we know we got some freshmen coming in too, but you can't rely on them. They'll be years to come, but maybe we can have a few impact freshmen. A guy that
Sendarian Morgan and EJ Crowell could have an impact. Those 2 guys for sure.
Jira Edwards, that safety.
Yeah. But we got dudes in the back end of the field. I think he'll get to play. I don't think he'll start.
A guy that I don't even think his name came up at all over the course of this podcast over this year, Justin Hill on the defense, number 8.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he'll be there, and London Simmons.
Yep, London Simmons had a great season. We like London Simmons. I'm a big London Simmons.
Jeremiah Beeman's back. So I mean, there's going to be people already on the team who are going to get to play too, not just the portal.
No,
Um,
and then that's why I said 40% of our starters, or
yeah,
50% will be portal acquisitions, not the whole shooting match.
yeah, it's not going to be a completely different team, but it'll be different for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, is that it for you, young man?
I think so.
All right. All right, all of you, thank you for listening. Subscribe, follow, like, hit the notified button or the bell wherever you access the podcast, whether it's on the YouTube channel or if you get us on the various audio outlets such as Spotify, RSS, iHeart, Amazon, Apple, and the like. Thank you for listening. God bless and roll tide.
Roll Tide.